time. Really.
Good morning, Year 6. This is your Wednesday's English lesson. Today we are teaching you the skill of using figurative language. And at the Year 6 level, we want you to use it appropriately. So we can use figurative language, however, they're not always appropriate and they're not always the best to use in our writing. So there's some really overused phrases that use figurative language. So I want you to pause the video and have a think. Which is better, as quick as a flash or the wind wailed? So hopefully you've had a think about which one is better and more effective for our readers. I would say the wind wailed is a better use of figurative language, only because as quick as a flash is really overused in writing and we don't want to sound similar to lots of other writers. So although it's good to take styles from writers, we don't want to always use things like as quick as a flash, ran as quick as a cheetah. They're overused and they're not always as effective. So here I have used a simile and as quick as a flash. Remember, similes are using as or like to compare two things. And in the wind wailed, I have used a different type of figurative language. I have used personification. The wind can't actually wail. When I say wail, I mean scream. It can't actually do that. That's a human action, a human verb. However, we'd all know what the wind wailed would mean. So it's making a really high-pitched screeching sound, probably as it blows through the cracks in some of the rocks that the lighthouse sits on. So, as you write today your skill sentences, I want you to think about what effective figurative language is. Please don't just write things like as quick as a flash, as quick as a cheetah, that kind of thing that we would read all of the time. They're not always effective. So, for your starter, I want you to mind map some figurative phrases for each part of the scene. So, the first thing that we might mind map is this arrow here is pointing to the sky and the clouds. So I'm going to use the clouds crept across the sky. And I've used personification again here. So really only humans or animals can creep, but we know what we mean, that the clouds are very, very slowly moving across the sky. This gives a very ominous feeling and a dark feeling to this scene, which is exactly what we want. Have a go now at completing each of the arrows. So here you need to describe the top of the lighthouse, the light. Here you need to describe the rocks using figurative language. Remember, you can use similes or metaphors as well. So now we have warmed up. Today you are going to write figurative language sentences to describe your chosen scene. Remember, if you are doing the stormy, dark scene, you need to make sure all of your writing is ominous and dark. So, for example, I might use a metaphor. The sky was a blanket shrouding the scene. Okay? Dark persisted. So the sky isn't really a blanket. This section makes it a metaphor. The sky was a blanket. If I was to say the sky was like a blanket, because I have used the word like, I could have also used the word as. That is a simile, whereas a metaphor says something is the other object, like a blanket. I've also used a short sentence here to vary my clause structures. Have a go today at writing sentences that use figurative language on your chosen scene, the dark, stormy lighthouse or the peaceful, serene lighthouse.